Good evening. Welcome back to another Kneejerk stream. Game week 7 is finished. We've already got a super chat in from Gil saying, let's talk Man City attack. We'll talk about that, I'm sure, in this video because they were good again today. Maybe a little bit unlucky just to get the point, possibly, although Mo Salah was absolutely incredible. But yeah, we'll talk about that soon. How are we all doing? A few good scores in the chat. It's amazing how far down you can drop down on a -4. Absolutely. I know I've said this all season, right? I know people think I say this at the start of the season because I've got like a 300 or a 400k rank. The ranks don't matter massively. Even now, I would say. Like, I think last season I didn't get into the top 100k until like game week 15 or something. So ranks are still really close. So yeah, -4 is going to drop you quite a bit. But obviously, that those -4 points can gain you more if you get the hit right. But that's always the same. Sometimes hits work, sometimes they don't. We won't get into that conversation right now, but yeah, absolutely. We're obviously going into international break as well, so this will not be the last video of the week, of course. There'll be plenty all this week and next week as well. But we have got 2 weeks off now to the next deadline, which is kind of nice, depending on how you did. I think a lot of people, if they've had a bad score in particular, will be activating the wildcard this week for sure. Also, big shout out, I just saw that FPL SWAT is in the chat. SWAT was unfortunately one of the people targeted by the hacking. Got his team back, which is great news, but unfortunately massive hit. So season over in terms of overall season, but still a great guy, still part of the still massive part of the community, and still supporting the stream. So thank you very much, and I'm sure I'll be back next year to play for the season-long game. I think he's got actually a game week 7 league, so I might retweet that after this if he tweets me it. Yeah. Josh Ronins was so blessed to get his clean sheet point. SWAT. Look, that wasn't okay. That wasn't even timed. I didn't see that before I said SWAT. All that stuff about SWAT. But thank you very much. Yeah, let's talk Man City attack. I mean, De Bruyne, I just think is a bit expensive for our teams, but there are a couple of really good fixtures. Obviously, Burnley at home being one of them, where you could captain De Bruyne ahead of Salah if you were really ballsy. But after today's performance, I'm not sure many people are going against Salah. Obviously, Crystal Palace at home in game week 10 as well could be nice. I don't know who Salah's got in game week 10 actually. Brighton at home, so it's probably still Salah. So I just think De Bruyne is just too expensive for our teams right now. But maybe like Grealish, possibly Foden as well. Definitely caught my eye today. Is Foden nailed? I mean, no one's nailed, are they? No one's nailed. But the thing is with Grealish and Foden is they can play in different positions. So Foden started on the right today, then he got moved to the left. And before that, he's been playing as an 8 as well. And obviously, Grealish was playing as a 9. Wasn't very good at all today, to be honest. But he's played every single game so far. I want a Man City attacker this week. I just don't know if I can do it. Was it Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that DM'd you last stream? No, it wasn't. It wasn't. It was someone random. Like, it's exactly. I know people don't want to believe it's exactly what I said. Somebody I didn't even follow messaged me out of the blue saying, like your FPL content, I've got some news for you. He's benched. And the thing is, everyone is like, you should have just said it straight away. Because obviously I went pretty quiet. So I was messaging him, like saying, how legit is this? How sure are you? Imagine if I said to 13,000 people watching live, like 100,000 people watching the deadline stream overall, if I said Ronaldo's bench. Imagine the chaos if I hadn't like checked first how legit it was. He seemed pretty sure. He had a blue tick as well. And it was only when Stephen Howson tweeted at like 5 to 11 or whatever time it was, like with the sad face, I was like, maybe he's got the same info. And that was it, really. But yeah, imagine I said that at the start of a deadline shoot. Yeah, Ronaldo's benched. The chaos would be insane. The chaos would be insane. You should say that you would act on it. But I wasn't sure. I literally said I'm thinking of wildcarding about 4 minutes before the stream, before the deadline. It was just a combination of everything. We didn't have Shaw and Greenwood news. Stephen Howson tweeted, really just put me over the edge. And that was it. I mean, it's up to you if you take it, right? It's up to you. I can only give you the info I got. The same with the Simicast one. The Simicast info came in at like 7 minutes until the deadline. They're both completely separate people. Like I would, if anyone says no one should have team news. I completely agree with any of them. It'd be nice if we were all on a level playing field, but once someone tweets you and gives you that info, you're going to act on it, aren't you? And that's why I said it in the... that's why I mentioned it. Because originally I wasn't going to say it, because I thought if he's not benched, people are going to go mad at me anyway. Who did I forget about in the deadline stream? That was Rodrigo, I think. Jack, 46 points into the top 250k. Very nice. Plan to keep Jota, but now considering Foden, since both minutes risks. Also time to sell Adama. I would definitely keep Jota, I think. There's a good chance he starts against Watford, all right? There's a chance, at least. You don't need to make any decisions now. 93rd minutes. Yeah, Adama's going to go. He's got to go. Unless there's injuries to Hwang and Podence over the break, Traore's got to go. I know it's easy to say because I didn't own him. I said to people I would keep him for Newcastle at home because it's a good fixture and there's a chance that he starts, but he didn't start. He's got to go. He's got to go. Bad game from and replacements and Mbeumo and Masaka I think are probably the top two now. And Rafinha, of course. Bad game for me. 40 points dropped from 208k to 262k. By the way, 262k is still really good right now. It really is. I'm not just saying that. Like, there's so much time left. There really is. Hitting my wild card. Looks like Cancelo will rise tonight. Thoughts on Hwang over Jimenez? Jimenez nailed 90 minutes, penalties. I think Hwang is nice, but is he going to start every game? He might do. He might turn out to be this massive... like decent differential, like cheap enabler, but I just think those forward spots, there are still so many good forwards. I just don't think it's worth cheaping out on it. I just think when the team sheet comes out, Jimenez is on there. Unless he's injured, you're just not worried about him at all. I know it's a lot more money, but yeah. Mason Mount changed Chelsea when he came on. Is he a good pick again? I would argue James Ward-Prowse changed the Chelsea game, not Mason Mount, to be completely honest. He's an okay pick. I still think double defence and Lukaku is better. I'll put my team up in just a second, by the way. Tanganga and Shaw out. Tanganga and Shaw out from -4. Aspi and Rudy for a green hour of 204,000 places. Wow, sat out just outside top 200k. I'll take that. Very nice, Daniel. Yeah, that's huge. Get the Disaronno out. I haven't drank Disaronno, I haven't drank anything for so long. Okay, let me put the team up. Sorry. So this is it. 61 points. Like, I mean, I was really worried about selling Sarr and Greenwood, and they both blanked. And Mbeumo came in with 8 points. Like, that was Mbeumo and Azpilicueta and keeping Jimenez were the three key parts of the wildcard, really. I was really tempted just to go for Grealish, but I just couldn't miss that Newcastle game with Jimenez. I've actually got enough money to do Saka to Grealish or Saka to Foden if I don't go for Trent, so I'm kind of waiting on that. And as for Azpilicueta with 2 assists, what I will say is Lukaku captain, I don't know how he didn't get any returns. I really don't. It was a crazy game, especially towards the end. It was, yeah, it's massive. I've gone up from like 50k to 10k. Let's be honest, there's a bit of luck involved here. I was going to go for Rudiger. If I didn't get that Ronaldo bench news, I wouldn't have probably wildcarded. And I wouldn't have had Azpilicueta. Even though I was saying on the deadline stream at the start of the stream, I bought Rudiger in. I was a bit annoyed at myself because Azpilicueta was the one that I really wanted. And I only did Rudiger because the price changed. So in some ways, I knew that Azpilicueta was the one I wanted. I just didn't go for it. Rudiger to Lukaku goal offside was rough. Yeah, I mean, luckily, in some ways, I wasn't watching, so I didn't like feel it in real time. Instead, I was out shopping for cars. So I missed that instead. So it wasn't too bad. Thanks, Andy. Thanks, Durinto. I went for Jimenez as captain. Nice, scored 58. Very nice. Did not manage to activate wildcard in such a hurry, but still scored pretty good. Thanks. Yeah, if you're on 58 and you still got a wildcard, happy days. Happy days. I think there was a few players that probably kept non-wildcarders afloat for sure. So for a start, a lot of people just transferred in Chelsea players anyway, right? And also Brighton defence came in, which was really nice. Duffy, Veltman and Sanchez in a lot of teams. If there's... Sometimes it's like grass is always... sometimes it's like a grass is always greener type thing. And I'm happy that Ramsdale got a clean sheet. But Brighton were very good defensively again. And I do think Sanchez might be the better keeper over a long period of time. I think in the short term, like the next 6 to 7 game weeks, Arsenal's fixtures are so good that Ramsdale will probably outscore Sanchez. But considering we never make goalkeeper transfers, Sanchez might be the better long-term hold. Do you know if there is no option to become a member of your channel for me on? Oh, why there's no option? I don't, to be honest. No, I really don't. You only read the comments out that big you up. I mean, why would I read out an insulting comment? That's a weird take. I've just read out that one though, so maybe. 76 to 99k. You're still in the top 100k. That's brilliant. Jota and Benrahma replacements. Yeah, I think Mbeumo, Saka, like I got them in for a reason. I mean, you're not going to bring Mbeumo in, I guess, this week. To be honest, I wouldn't even take Jota out this week necessarily. Benrahma though, and Mbeumo, I think Saka still. I think Saka, if he's fit. We're going to have to wait though. Don't rush on these kind of things. Bring in Jesus. I know there's 2 players that are doing really well that I keep ignoring. That's Jesus and Vardy, but I still don't think I'm going to have them. Kia Sportage is a nice car. So I test drove an electric car, the Ioniq 5, and I got to be honest, it was so nice. Now, I'm coming from like a nearly 15-year-old car, so anything's going to feel nice. But yeah, Sportage looks good. Sportage does look good. Anyway, we won't turn this into a car stream because we could be here all day. Yeah, we could literally be here all day. Thoughts on Jimenez versus the Bull? What does that mean? I don't know what that means. 120k at the moment is realistic to aim for top 10k this year. Honestly, yeah, absolutely. Like I was looking through my. In fact, I can quickly do it now. If I go and find my Game Week 8 video from last year, I finished just outside the top 1k. Literally, a Salah versus Ronaldo captaincy switch on the last day, I would have been top 1k. And in Game Week 8 last year, so if I go on my team selection for Game Week 8 and look at my Game Week 7 score, I was 308k and I finished near just outside the top 1k. There's plenty of time, honestly. The ranks are going to change a lot. Oh, the Bull is Huang. Sorry. I still, yeah, okay, sorry, I didn't know that. I still think Jimenez is the one. I don't know. I guess if Huang, okay, I'll just say this: if Huang keeps starting, he's brilliant value. Like his numbers from, he came from the Bundesliga, didn't he? Like if I look up his expected goal numbers, yeah, they were 0.48 in 2020-21, 0.48. So 0.31 expected goals, 0.17 expected assists per 90. That's really damn good for 5.5. I just think the first time he's benched, you're going to get annoyed. Will he get benched, though? I don't know. But I just think Jimenez is just nailed on. He's nailed on 90 minutes. I just don't know if I'd mess around there. I don't know if I'd mess around. But he could be a nice little differential. I think Huang, Foden, Jota, and there's another player, and Reece James / Chilwell will be the kind of differential players that people look at on a Game Week 8 wildcard that we didn't look at on a Game Week 7 one. A lot of us, anyway. It's the double game weeks that would change the rankings. Possibly, yeah. There's plenty of points to get before them. How big a differential will Ronaldo be in Game Week 8? He's already been sold by... Oh, by the way, I think Ronaldo's fine to hold. I'm just saying. Not on a wild card, but I wouldn't have him. But if you've got him, I don't think you need to panic to Lukaku this week. He's been sold by 92,000 managers already. Do we need to start thinking about getting De Bruyne? He's so good. Was he that good? I thought he was pretty poor today, if I'm honest. You can think about him, but I think you've got to drop one of Lukaku or Salah, and it's difficult. If you've got 3, then yeah, go for it. I still think 3 premiums isn't worth it. I've thought that all along. I haven't changed my mind. Just like I don't think Salah is now a permanent captain because he did well today either. Bobo, time to transfer in Armstrong. It could be nice for the price, yeah. I mean, the fixtures are there for Southampton. I think he's a good short-term move. I think longer term, you definitely want Tony instead. Yeah, wildcard video tomorrow for sure, yeah. De Bruyne was poor. What game was I watching? I was watching a game where like he just was really poor. A lot of misplaced passes. I don't know, he just looked knackered. Like, obviously he got the goal, fair play. But I didn't think he was very good today. Liverpool and City game was really good, yeah. I think Milner definitely should have been sent off. No questions about it. That's a yellow card every day of the week. So obviously that not happening, then Salah going to score and was pretty bad. Like Cancelo was never getting any attacking returns today, really. I mean, he was kind of pinned back a lot by Salah. He did get forward a few times, but obviously that's why I kept saying that if I was on a wild card, I would get the Man City defence, but you didn't need to bring them in this week. There was no point in doing that. Salah is simply unplayable at the moment. The touch for the first goal where he took it, I can't remember who he took it past, but he took it past someone with this really nice little flick. And then to make the kind of diagonal run, then just pass it back outside to Mane. And then the goal. Oh my God, he is so good. Like, the amount of people that will argue it is getting lower and lower. But I still feel like people don't give Salah the respect he deserves. Like, he's one of the best to ever have played in the Premier League. He's that good. He's that good. He's literally done it from minute one of joining Liverpool to now. He's like barely had a break of where he's been awful. 9k to hit 250k. We were doing a special video, your journey. I don't know. I'm not really good at editing that kind of stuff. Like Salah right now is possibly the best player in the league. He's definitely the best forward in the league. There's obviously a conversation to be had about De Bruyne because De Bruyne on his day is just ridiculous as well. And then obviously defenders. It's hard to compare defenders to Salah, right? So you could have it. You could have a different. You could have a different category. If you're talking forwards, forget Ronaldo, forget Lukaku. Salah is the best forward in the league. It's simple as that. Would you keep Antonio on a wild card? Oh, Antonio is so tricky, right? Because I said last week we might have to think about selling Antonio soon. No one was having any of it. And look, obviously you're never going to sell him against Brentford, right? And he could have scored as well. We should say that. But is there a conversation to be had about getting rid of him soon? I mean, Everton, I don't see massive goals in this run. You could make a case for it. I think it's just his ownership is so high. His ownership is so high. Like I will consider it from here because Liverpool, Man City, and Chelsea in 5 fixtures is difficult. My only worry is he's gone up in price so much. You'd have to buy him back. Like it costs an extra 0.3 million right now. But I'm telling you now, I'll tell you what I'm thinking about right now. Game week 10 or 11, I am thinking about swapping him to Tony and just keeping Jimenez. Which I know a few weeks ago would have sounded crazy. Like, why are you keeping Jimenez over Antonio? But I think I want Tony, but I don't want to get rid of Jimenez. I think Antonio might go. Like, Antonio's brilliant. You know how much I love him, but there's limits and fixtures matter. So we'll see. And obviously something might change by then as well. Like, I've still got to find a transfer for Trent, for example. What a ridiculous comment. Romano, thank you very much for becoming a member. You obviously found the button then. I genuinely haven't got a clue like what was wrong. Yeah, but maybe De Bruyne is just tired. Like he was out for a little while, wasn't he? Obviously, he hasn't just come back, but he's played a few games. Like, obviously, it's no discredit to De Bruyne. Players get tired sometimes. He just wasn't fantastic, I don't think. Hello from California. Alonso for Chilwell, thanks. Oh, I don't know about that move, to be honest. I got to be honest, long term, I think you just come off them both. Oh, Christ. Hang on, I need to delete... my computer's about to die, I think. Can I delete these? I need a bigger hard drive. I've got like all my videos when I record them, they just save, obviously. But they take up so much room. Okay. I was on low disk space just then. How do I fit De Bruyne, Salah, Trent, and Ronnie? And I want them. Oh, and I bought Alonso in on a wildcard. High fives around. Yeah, Alonso. I mean, I said it, didn't I? I said about Alonso. Like, I know you get to the point where someone like me or someone else keeps saying, yeah, Alonso's going to lose his place soon. Alonso's going to lose his place soon. And he doesn't. Right? You start thinking you're talking rubbish. But as soon as Chilwell got those 45 minutes in Juventus, the writing was on the wall. Alonso will get games, but he's not going to play every game. Like, Chilwell was never going to miss the whole season, right? Let's be real. So I think you just deal with it. You maybe keep Alonso this week. If you've wildcarded, you've probably got a deep squad, so you can probably just keep him. You don't need Ronaldo. You don't really need Ronaldo. Again, that's an opinion I've held the whole way. That Ronaldo can be kept until game week 9 possibly, but he has to go for Lukaku then, and I don't think 3 premiums is worth it. Hawcraft, thank you very much. KHS, I know you're anti-goalkeeper trades, but my options are Marçal to Cancelo or Schmeichel to Ramsdale and Livramento to Cancelo for -4. Other goalkeeper is Sanchez. Oh, well, if you've got Sanchez, then getting rid of Schmeichel. The thing is, you don't necessarily need to get rid of Livramento because he's a nice option to keep on your bench. But if you've got 2 goalkeepers, then yeah, you could possibly make a trade to get some money. But Marçal to Cancelo seems fine, depending on the rest of your team, to be honest with you. Get rid of Jota. I mean, realistically, you need to wait on Jota, and just see what happens with Firmino, right? He could get injured possibly somehow over the break. Oh man, how the conversation's changed on Alonso, it's mad. Have auto subs happened yet? I assume so, but I don't know, to be honest. I don't have any. This is my team for next week, by the way. Obviously, we're a long way out. Saka did get a bit of a knock, but I think Arteta said he'd be fine. I got to be honest, right? I said this before I wildcarded. I knew I was going to have a deep squad when I wildcarded over 7 or 8, and I'm already hating it because I've got Mbeumo. Is it Mbeumo? I think it is. Mbeumo on the bench, and I'm not liking it at all. And I've got to be honest, because this is an away game, I'm very tempted just to hedge my bets and just do that and just play the 3-4-3. And look, if Chelsea get a clean sheet, okay, it's annoying that I didn't get the double, but I just think Brentford will score. I think they've got a good chance of scoring. It's obviously a difficult defence to play against, but maybe this is a bit knee-jerky because he scored today, and obviously Chelsea is a more difficult task. But it's because he's at home. I don't think I want to go for the double defence. So already I'm hating my decisions. And the worst thing is, if Trent's back for Game Week 8, I've then got to make a decision about whether I want to bring him back in. I've got the money for it. I can either do Laporte to Trent or Azpilicueta to Trent. But Laporte has started every game so far. So I don't know. There's no way Brentford score. I wouldn't be so sure. And also, Mbeumo's so low owned. It's big if he does score. Chalobah thoughts, not an option in any way. Absolutely loving owning Son on the wildcard. Yeah, I told my missus to bring him in this week, actually. And then I looked at the team and was like, you might need to wildcard, but I don't think she does. I think you just keep Son for Newcastle away. I think Son's got like 4 returns, which is okay. Obviously, there's a lot of other players that have done better, but he is ticking over like he always does. He's just so expensive. It's the only problem, really. Can we say Mo Salah is fixture-proof? No one's fixture-proof. No, even Mo Salah. Thoughts on Trossard, Norwich next, and good stats? I just don't think... The problem with Brighton is for every good fixture, they got a bad one. So Norwich is fine, but then they got Man City, Liverpool. So I wouldn't do it. It's very short term, to be honest. Nobody. And also, by the way, for all of you that are like, oh, you can't captain the early kickoff, guess when Mo Salah is playing in Game Week 8? He's playing at 12:30 on Saturday. Something tells me all the rubbish about the early captaincy will be forgotten about for Salah versus Watford. It was still a pen, to be fair, and not an open play goal. I don't know who that's for. Not sure who that's for. Brentford scored 3 against Liverpool. They can score against Chelsea, possibly. Can't believe I didn't get Vardy last week. Yeah, he's been ticking over, hasn't he? He's been ticking over. How's manager change in Watford will affect Sarr's playing? I mean, it's hard to know exactly how. I think it's Ranieri, isn't it? It's going to be. So we'll have to see. I mean, Sarr is going to be nailed, though. I wouldn't have too much of a problem with that. What if Ake or Stones start instead of Laporte against Burnley? Then I've got Rudiger coming off the bench. So I'm not that bothered, really. Like, if Laporte doesn't start, he's not going to come on, pretty much. Unless there's an injury or something. Salah Pen versus Chelsea earlier in the season, I think you mean, it doesn't make him fixture-proof. Yeah, of course. No one's fixture. The thing is, like, I know, like, he scores today, everyone's excited, so that all the permanent captain stuff comes out, right? We all tweet in excitement, and then when you think about it, you're like, yeah, I'm not too sure. Like, the thing is, Salah's so good that he's mostly our captain anyway. He doesn't need to be a permanent captain because he's almost permanent. But he's got Man United away in game week 9, the same week that Lukaku has Norwich at home. There's no way I'm captaining Salah, right? And then in game week 11, it's West Ham away for Salah. And in the same week, Lukaku's got Burnley at home. And Man United and Man City are playing each other. So that's out of the question too. So Salah's great. And I'll captain him against Watford. And I'll probably captain him against Brighton. And I'll definitely captain him against Southampton. Maybe Everton. Maybe anyway, we're looking too far ahead. But he's not going to be permanent captain for me. The annoying thing is, he's always going to be over 100% effective ownership. So as soon as you don't captain him, you're kind of done. He's great. Look, I honestly have to tell Liverpool fans sometimes how great he is. I'm not denying that, but I'm not gonna permanent captain him. Like, Lukaku's been disappointing. Okay, maybe, but that depends what your expectations are. He scored since he's come into the league, he's scored 3 goals. The blanks have been against Liverpool, Spurs, Man City, and now Southampton, right? Who expected loads of goals in Liverpool, Spurs, and Man City? I certainly didn't. Expectations, I think, are just too high. You're telling me when Lukaku's got Norwich at home, best fixture in the league you can possibly have, I don't care if he blanks against Brentford, he'll still be my captain against Norwich. Diaz looked poor today, so Laporte will be fine. I don't think that makes a difference, though, because Diaz is just nailed, right? Laporte's only got... Stones is the only worry for Laporte, really. Ake's not a problem. Ake only plays when everyone's injured. He's not good enough. Team is Ramsdale, Diaz, Tierney, benches, and Mbuemo, Semedo. Who to play in sub? I mean, transfers I'll leave up to you. I don't want to, look at someone's team and tell them what transfers to make. Mbuemo and Semedo. I mean, Semedo's playing Villarreal. You don't need to worry about playing him, I think. Tierney, Rudiger, and Diaz is fine. Mbuemo I would possibly play instead of Smith Rowe. But Smith Rowe's got a great fixture, but possibly that's the move I would make. Alan, thank you. Horgraft, really enjoy content. What are your title predictions for this season? Man City to win. I think Liverpool will get very close to them if they keep their first 11 fit. I think if you forget about squads and you look at best 11, Liverpool are just as good as Man City and Chelsea. It's only really squad depth that's maybe a little bit of an issue. You may need Rudiger next week if Rafinha can't play game week 8. Yeah, and to be honest, for all the disadvantages of the squad, like having to make these tough decisions about who to play, the good thing is there's no panic, right? If Saka's out, I just play Rudiger. If Rafinha misses out, and before anyone asks, it's all to do with the internationals. I think they'll all be fine, by the way, but just in case, Rudiger plays. That's why having a team like this is quite good. And I don't feel like I'm really missing anyone either, apart from 3 premiums, which I don't think is good value, and I haven't done... the whole time. Thoughts on Ferran Torres really starting to wind me out. He's got to go. I said that last week. I said the week before. He's got to go. There was some scenarios where I said to people you could keep because they had other things to do, but he's got to go. He's not playing. Like, he's just not playing. I think it's very clear right now there's a first 11 at City, and it doesn't include Torres, and it doesn't include Mahrez, and it doesn't include Sterling. It doesn't necessarily mean that they'll never play a match again, of course, but they're not part of Pep's first 11 right now. We know the first 11 changes from time to time. So the fact that Grealish has started 7 games in a row, I'd be thinking, well, is it his time to come out yet? Torres is going to play Burnley. I mean, again, like, no one should be making transfers right now anyway, right? So if there's an indication that Torres is going to play, of course you don't sell him. But if we've got all the same information we have now and all the normal players are fit, my assumption is that Torres doesn't start. And the thing is, if you keep him because he's playing against Burnley and then he doesn't start, you're going to be in exactly the same situation next week. Well, he's playing Brighton. He doesn't start. Well, he's playing Crystal Palace. Do you know what I mean? So you'd need a few injuries, I think, before you start keeping him. It's pronounced Mbuemo. Oh, God, I'm never going to remember that. I'll try and remember that. Mbuemo. Here we go. We'll test it here. Mbermo or Trossardin for Trossard? Should that be Dino? Trossardinho for Torres or Adama this week? Ooh, Trossard for this week, but Mbermo long term. And probably for Adama Traore and just hope that Torres starts against Burnley, like people were saying. How much do I have in the bank? 2.1 million. 2.1 million. So I can do Trent in one move. Paul, how's it going? You're a lot happier now, Andy. When we last saw you, looked like you were about to puke at the end of the stream. It was just like, it was that mad rush at the end of the stream. Like, you just can't write it. The FPL drama creates itself. And I was like, the thing is, I'm always prepared for my wildcard. Like I said multiple times last week that I was going to have my wildcard ready to go if needed. But then to actually hit it that late, it's like, oh God, what have I done? That's the second season in a row, though. Last season I did it with 5 minutes to spare. Do you think it's better to go Grealish now in a game week 8 wildcard? It depends what the sacrifice is. Like for me, it was Jimenez versus Grealish. I decided to go for Jimenez. Possibly if I was picking now, I might go for Grealish. I do like the idea of having a Man City attacker. The fixtures are good. Again, the same thing with Huang. Jimenez versus Grealish. You know who I know is going to start every single week? Jimenez. Like at some point, Grealish is going to miss out because they always do it at Man City. Honestly, if you really think I did it for views, you got the wrong person, and I'd rather you just didn't watch, to be honest with you. I decided last minute because I got the news, which I shared for you as soon as I had it. So honestly, just switch off. If you honestly think that, just don't watch. I'd rather just not have you here, to be completely honest. FPL Journal said he never makes a transfer after a Friday night. It's not bad advice, but I don't subscribe to that. Like I'm happy just if I need to make a last minute decision, I'm happy to do it, because especially when there's a big game on at the start that you might get team news for, you know. Thoughts on Cancelo captain versus Burnley? I mean, it's probably as good as any defender captain, right? Probably going to get a clean sheet. Very good attacking wise. He's going to get a lot of the ball against Burnley. I still will captain Salah for sure, but if you want to go for it, go for it. Show us your league positions. Have they been updated though? Obviously, a lot of green arrows, right? Which is pretty nice. Should I keep Odegaard? Arsenal are about to come into a really nice run. If you got him, I don't know why you get rid of him right now. Is Werner an option now? I don't think so. I don't think there's any guarantee he keeps playing every week. It's just nah. I do like Werner. I know, Tom. People are weird. I've had it all weekend. Why didn't you tell us before the live stream ended that you actually believed the info you got about Ronaldo? I mean, I gave you the info. It's up to you to interpret it. I just made a decision based on everything we had. Right? You had the same info as me. I got a DM from someone random that heard it from someone else. I watched on the deadline show. You were stressing about whether Ronaldo was going to start. Yeah, because the thing is, people were talking about him being benched right at the start of the morning. I was like, no way. It's quite funny, but you benefited by using it. Yeah, absolutely. Although the funny thing is, I didn't benefit by the main thing, which was Ronaldo to Lukaku captain. That was what I thought was going to be the big swing. Why don't you tell us what you had for breakfast? I have protein pancakes every day. Is Hudson-Odoi a good option? No. What does on the back burner mean? It's just like a play on the back burner. It really means nothing. It's just a rubbish team name that I just kept. Yeah, Elite 64, number 1 for now. I don't know if I'm still number 1 though. I've this is why life is so weird, right? So in the Elite 64 League, who have I taken over? The owner of Sheffield United. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's who it is. But look, everyone's going to wildcard now, so they'll all be on the same playing field. If you announced wildcard and Ronaldo would have started, yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Imagine if I. That's why I kind of try to verify it. Funny thing is, if the info was incorrect, everyone would have come for your head. Yeah, I gotta be honest. There's literally no fun in having early team news. I like getting it off other people. You know, like on Twitter, there's some accounts that always have team news. Fair play for them giving it out. Honestly, all I've had is you had the info earlier than you said. Not true. You shouldn't have early team news. It's not fair. Yeah, agree on that one. And obviously, some people are annoyed they didn't hear it. Like it's just not fun at all. Someone messaged me today or yesterday and said sometimes I get news. I'm willing to share it if you share your news. And I literally said to them, I don't have news. I just happen to get 2 random messages. And I said I'd rather not hear about it, to be honest, because it just causes issues. I'd rather not know in most situations. McBurney was a good option. Pancakes every day isn't good for you. Trust me, these are oats, oats, banana, egg, protein powder. It's nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. Antonio to Bamford. Bamford should be back for Game Week 8. Nah, I wouldn't do that. He's not definitely back either. The complaining over your wildcard is just odd. Zach, I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. Are we forgetting about Bruno? We are, but I think for mostly good reasons, to be honest. If he keeps penalties, though, which we don't really know if he is or not, then he's a great option still. Jesus, something tells me Jorgen's an Everton fan. Shaw out. I think, to be honest, you could... yeah, no, I think Shaw has to go. Again, though, it all depends on priorities. If you've got loads of other transfers to make, you could make a case to hold him one more week. But if you're on a wildcard, he's got to go. Like, there's no doubt about it. Can I use Simicast as a bench option in wildcard? Don't go for Simicast. He's not going to start enough. For how long do you predict to keep Saka? I'm not even sure if he'll make it to Game Week 8, to be honest, because I could get a Man City defender. But I think Palace, Villa, Leicester, Watford's like a nice little run. So I might just give him 4 games, you know. Lukaku's blank 4 out of 6 games. Is he overhyped? I mean, look at the fixtures. I mean, this is what I keep trying to say this, but it's not that no one listens, but like fixtures matter. They matter, right? And that is why when Lukaku scored against Arsenal, I just had no real worries about bringing him in because he's going to play Liverpool, Spurs, and Man City in the next 4. Okay, he blanked today, but he's not going to score in every single game, right? So what I would say is this is like the first of a good fixture run. So if he hasn't scored after the next 5 games, then okay, that's a bit annoying. But let's give him a bit of a chance, right? You can't get him in for Man City, Liverpool, and Spurs and then complain when he doesn't score. That's just, that's just how fixtures work. Obviously, sometimes you'll score, but less likely, right? Bernardo Silva worth a look. Do you know what? Bernardo Silva is such a weird one because the start of the season it was all the talk about how he wanted to go or Pep wanted him gone. He was brilliant today, but I feel like he's just not going to get you enough FPL returns. Like he's a really good player, but he's not going to get you. He's not going to get enough goals or assists, in my opinion. Although I've got to be honest, I don't even know how much he is. If I'm completely honest. 6.9. Yeah, I just wouldn't go there. To be honest, I'm not sure what price he'd have to be for me to say go there. Probably 5.5 or 6 or something. Yeah, you're right, Wazim. You're right. Usually, like I just block people like that, and I don't even like mention it or give them airtime. But there's just been a lot over this weekend. That's all. Can you show the YouTuber Creator League? Am I allowed to show it? I don't know. Yeah, I probably am. Boom. So you got me. You got Redditor, Jack, James Alcott, Theo Baker, Ollie Fletcher, Joshua Larkin. I gotta be honest, some of these people I don't know who they are. There's nothing I'm sure they don't know who I am either, or that I even have a YouTube channel. Spencer, obviously. Thogden. Yeah, Thogden. He was messaging me at the start of the season. FPL tweeting me a lot. I wonder if he's watching right now. Not sure if you mentioned already, but would you play Mbermo Tony over a Chelsea defender? Yeah, I am right now, so I possibly would. The thing is, if I only had one Chelsea defender, I would probably play him. Am I afraid of Laporte being rotated? Possibly, yeah. I mean, Laporte might have been a bad move. The reason I went for Laporte instead of Diaz is because I have enough money to go. I think I do anyway. So, bearing in mind, I was pretty sure about most of my wildcard, but not all of it necessarily pre-deadline. So I've left my options open, right? So I have enough money in the bank, 2.1 million, to go straight from Laporte to Trent if I want to. I can go from Azpilicueta to Trent if I want to. And also, if I go from Azpilicueta to Trent, then I also have enough money to do, what was it? Jimenez and Saka. This is one of the things on Wildcard that I was unsure about. To Tony and then a Man City midfielder like Grealish. So that's why I left. That's basically why I went for Laporte over Diaz. I've got options. The only thing I will say on that is, now that Jimenez has scored, I don't see me getting rid of him. I don't see me going for a Man City mid and Tony like this just yet. It might be for Antonio possibly instead, so I could still do the same move. But it also means if I do want Diaz at some point, because Laporte loses his place, and I've got to make another transfer, so it might not have been the smartest idea. I've kind of given myself options, but also maybe hurt it by then at some point possibly having to do Laporte to Diaz. But if Laporte keeps his place, his goal rate is better than Diaz for sure. So we'll see. Yeah, sorry, Jimenez didn't score, but do you know what I mean? He got 2 assists, so he got 10 points. We're kind of happy with that. Is Jesus a good option? Thinking of switching Antonio for him. I don't think he's better than Antonio, no. Not right now, anyway. I mean, the fixtures are there, I guess. I just don't know about losing Antonio, if I'm completely honest with you. 2 Arsenal defenders, I think, is better than 2 City or 2 Chelsea. I would massively disagree on that, to be honest. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out for a minus 180. I mean, I talked about Ollie last time. Trent is expected to be back after international. Yeah, no, I completely agree. And I got to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to get him straight away. Because at the end of the day, I've got 2 Chelsea, I've got 2 Man City defenders. I just don't necessarily need Trent this week. And then he's going to play Man United away. So maybe I'll get him back here. I don't know. It's a tricky one, to be honest. Like I just don't want rid of Chelsea defenders at all, really. Like, the fixture is just so good. I just don't know how long I can go without Trent for. It just feels like trying to be too clever, you know? Should have gone with Walker. I got no interest in Walker at all. Although, hang on. How much is he? He's 5.5. Maybe you're right. But at some point, Cancelo could play right back. Zinchenko left back. I mean, sometimes like people, sometimes players just get in the Man City team and then they stay in. So Laporte, I don't know, he's doing all right now. United away is now a great fixture seemingly. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure Liverpool will score against us. I just think Man United have got a good chance of scoring against them as well. Thoughts on keeping Benrahma and Greenwood? Again, if you're wildcarding, I think definitely not on Greenwood, possibly on Benrahma. But Brentford most likely to score this. Oh, if you're talking about double Arsenal defence this week, possibly better than double Chelsea defence, but I still don't think so. Walker seemed very tired. To be fair, Walker was making, especially towards the end, was making a lot of forward runs into the box, like more than you'd usually see him doing. I think the difference was Cancelo had to cope with Salah. And, I mean, Walker, you could say Walker only had to cope with Mane, but obviously he's got the pace to do it. Dun, 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 dun. Why is everyone sleeping on Townsend? Yeah, good question. I mean, obviously people didn't want to bring him in this week because he's playing against Man United, which is fair enough. I love the celebration, by the way. You've got to give him massive credit for that. Yeah, he's doing really well. He is a nice option. I still think for the price, Mbeumo's better. But right now, I would not begrudge anyone bringing... The problem is, you've got West Ham, Wolves, Spurs, Man City in the next 5. It's not a great fixture. And that Watford game looks good. If you've already got him, you could hold on to him. But I don't know if I'd bring him in right now. Would you put Tsimikas in against Watford and hope he starts and bench Sarr looking for a Liverpool clean sheet, or just start Sarr? I'd absolutely start Sarr. There's almost no chance that Tsimikas starts, I would say. I've watched Squid Games. No. I've heard a lot about it. Well, I've heard a lot of people talking about it. I don't really know what it's about. That was some starfish celebration from Townsend. It absolutely was. But yeah, just fair play, you know? Fair play. Is Cancelo's performance today worrying? Hoping he can keep his place? I wouldn't worry too much about playing one of the best teams in the league, you know? What's a good strategy once you've hit high ranks? Safe moves to hold or play your natural game? Play your natural game, I think. Would you sell Jota to Grealish? I wouldn't if I thought Jota was going to start, which right now I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I don't know. I mean, you could argue that maybe Jota's first choice now, starting against Man City, is pretty big. Is Grealish any safer for minutes? I mean, it looks like he is right now, but I still don't know if I fully believe it, to be honest. Like, if I was wildcarding right now, right this second, and I had to lock it in, I'd probably go Grealish over Jota. But my mind could completely change by the deadline, because if I think Jota's starting, then I would just keep him. I wouldn't sell him to Grealish this week. You could always do it the week after if you needed to. Why have you gone Brownhill in your wildcard when you have the likes of Douglas Luiz? Just because he's cheapest. It's as simple as that, really. Just take all the money out of the team where you can. Thoughts on Vardy? Good fixtures after game week 9. Yeah, if you can fit him in, fair play. That's all I would say. Like, he's a good option. I mean, it's Arsenal at home, Leeds away, Chelsea. I don't even think it's that good of a fixture run, really. I think Vardy really looks good. Like, if you haven't already got Vardy, he looks really good from game week 13. Watford, Southampton, Villa, Newcastle. Also, it's worth talking about. Iheanacho started today. If that keeps on, he's brilliant. Like, he's such a good option for 7 million. Like, I was chatting to someone on tweet today, and they were like, I don't know what the hype is. And I said, trust me, if he gets starts, he'll be one of the best value players in the game. Like, if Iheanacho, if you said to me right now he's going to start every game he's fit for between now and game week 38, then he's worth like 8.5 million probably. So we have to keep an eye on that. I don't think there's any rush for it personally. I think it's probably come at the right time for those people not wildcarding, because you don't get sucked into going for it for Man United at home. Which, to be fair, Ian actually could definitely score in. So I'd like to see over the next few whether he just keeps his place or whether they revert back to the 4-2-3-1 or whatever they usually play. I've talked about Hwang quite a lot at the start of the stream, by the way. Use your bench boost, preferably in a double game week, but it doesn't have to be. I've used mine in a single game week the last 2 seasons, but it depends on the fixtures, right? Like, if I have the right fixtures for this team some point soon, I might just use the bench boost. On a wild card, is Sarr worth keeping? I feel like it's probably a good time to get rid of him. I think he's fine to... I do genuinely think he's fine to hold for Liverpool, Everton, Southampton if you wanted to. But if you look at the next few fixtures, in the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8... In the next 8 fixtures, he plays Man City and Chelsea at home, Leicester away, Man United at home, and Liverpool at home, and Arsenal away. Like, it's about as bad a run as you can get. So if you're on a wild card, I think you get rid of him. But I think if you've got him, I would probably keep him for the next 3. Unless you had a luxury move to get rid, you know? Handy, should I go Shaw to Cancelo or Diaz? I think if you're only going for one... No, I think it has to be Cancelo. He keeps starting. Fixtures are really good. Diaz is obviously the safer bet. We all know that. But Cancelo's just such a baller. Such a baller. He's got double-digit haul coming. Been watching Nacho after today, was gifted the goal. Yeah, look, I saw that on Twitter that he was gifted the goal, but I think if he starts, he'll get plenty of chances. Plenty of chances. First time playing FPL. Started watching you after Game Week 5. Used my wild card in Game Week 2. Definitely taking it seriously next season. You can still do well now, though. Philip, how's it going? Which attack partnership do you think will score the most goals? Werner, Lukaku, Iheanacho, Vardy, Hwang, Jimenez. Who else would you have other than your front three? Good question. Okay, it depends. If we're hypothetically saying they're all going to start every week, well, that's tough. That's tough. It's between Werner and Lukaku and Iheanacho and Vardy. I mean, Werner just... I mean, he scored, though, didn't he, this weekend? I feel like it might be... Would it be Iheanacho and Vardy? I mean, Werner is great. I think it's got to be Werner and Lukaku. But right now, if I was talking seriously about FPL options, it'd probably be Jimenez Hwang. You're why keep Antonio? Has tough fixtures coming up. I know. And to be honest, I really need to treat Antonio just like every other player. So soon I might get rid of him. I just don't think it necessarily needs to be this week. I'm thinking about going Lukaku, Jimenez and Tony and spend the extra 1.5 on midfield. Honestly, I said this last week about getting rid of Antonio wildcard. Everyone was like, no way. And now he's playing against Brentford. It's a whole different story. You could do that. I just think the problem with Antonio is the next few games, decent-ish games are away. So away against Everton, then Tottenham at home, away against Villa, home against Liverpool, away against Wolves, away against Man City. Like, this is a tough fixture run, I think. Like, compare it to this one, where you definitely want him in if he's fit. Although it is over Christmas. Don't know how many of those matches he'd play. I think you can make a case to get rid of Antonio. It would just be difficult viewing because he's so highly owned. I think you can make a case for it. Whether I do it, I don't know. But I tell you now, Tony is calling my name soon. Townsend is a 5.5 option. I kind of want to use a cliche that you've maybe missed the boat a little bit. He's not that bad though. I think Mbermo's better. Thoughts on Sarr to Saka? Yeah, don't mind that. Adrian, thank you. I think I went for Saka over Sarr on wildcard, so I prefer Saka right now. DCL or Bamford out over Antonio. I mean, if they're fit, probably Bamford. Because he's got Southampton away, Wolves at home, Norwich away coming up. Calvert-Lewin's got Watford at home. I mean, they should be available. Hopefully, be available. I think I'd go Bamford but to be honest, both of them have only got like a short-term good fixture run. Work from home gamer. I have Azpilicueta and Alonso. Do I hold them or bin one so I can move to Lukaku? I think in game week 9 you're going to want Lukaku for Norwich at home. So think about that. You don't necessarily need to do it this week. Bench Sarr against Liverpool for Duffy against Norwich. Nah, I'd play Sarr, I think. You don't need to tell me I've been jamming with my picks. People have been doing it all weekend. Honestly, anytime someone scores that I own, I get a "you're so lucky, you're so lucky." Anytime anyone scores, surprised I didn't get it for Salah. My Trent plans are I can get him in one move. Let's see what happens the rest of the week. Hillary, thank you very much. Antonio's blanked in both games directly after Europa League. Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily put too much on that. He only played 60 minutes midweek, didn't he? Villa players worth a look. Villa players worth a look. If they stick to this back five, I'm interested in their fullbacks, their wingbacks. But to be honest, I don't really like their fixture run. I mean, Wolves at home, Arsenal away, West Ham at home. It's okay. I don't think it's anything to write home about, especially when you're going to spend $5 million on a Villa defender. I don't know. If they're going to keep playing a wingback system, definitely got to take note of that. But again, everyone's got like Chelsea and Man City defenders right now, and some people have kept Trent as well. Where does Cash and Target fit into that? I just don't know right now. I guess if you wanted like someone, 2 players that are nailed on, maybe. What team would you pick if wildcard in Gameweek 8? Yeah, I'm going to do a wildcard video tomorrow. So. You overrate Leicester. Maybe. What's the maximum amount of hits you would take every season? I wouldn't have like a maximum really. I would just take the hits that I need. I say that every year. Like I don't like. I wouldn't take a certain amount and then not make a move because I think I've hit my limit. You know. I think you don't want to use them unless you absolutely need to. Like there you go. Bring in Burma in for a -4. He's playing Chelsea, so no, definitely not. Arsenal or Everton over the next few weeks. I'm going to say Arsenal. Can we see a handy without the beard? No way. Not this time. Just from the general vibe, I can tell you enjoyed the knee-jerk streams a lot more than the deadline streams. I really like the deadline streams. They're just sometimes a bit more stressful. Like the knee-jerk's fine. You've got like a whole week to go. Or 2 weeks in this case. Antonio plus James plus Trent plus Tony to Antonio and James to Trent and Tony. Possibly. I don't know about doing it this week, though. Townsend to Burma from -4. No. Townsend's got Watford in 2 game weeks. Who is the 4th best team this season? City, Pool, Chelsea, top 3. I would... Sorry. Looking at something else. Who's the 4? I mean, it's Man United. Just saying, it's going to be Man United. Like, I know the attack is a bit all over the place sometimes, but I think Man United will be more than fine. I mean, you could say, yeah, that teams like Brighton and Brentford are playing maybe a lot better than people expected. I mean, anyone that uses like expected data probably expected this, excuse the pun, from Brighton. I think it's probably still Man United, right? I don't think enough has changed where we're not doing that. Not saying that. Can you switch off from your team in week 1 of an international break? Are you saying, can I do it? Like, can I physically do it? Or like, are you allowed to do it? Because of course you can. When did you make the Azpilicueta over Alonso call? I mean, I said that as soon as Chilwell came on for Juventus. I said that Alonso wasn't an option. You just didn't know who was going to start. I had a feeling Chilwell would start, but I didn't know. Is the plan still to do a video with Mikel Antonio? I mean, I'd love to do it. I don't have any contact with him, though. It would be amazing, Johnny, though. If anyone knows Mikel Antonio personally, feel free to send him my my details. You would think Alonso, which is in form, plays. I don't. It's going to be like this all season now between Chilwell and Alonso. Chilwell will probably get a run of starts, and then that's it. Alright, I'm going to leave it there. We've been going nearly an hour. Please do give it a like if you've enjoyed. Let's get over that 1,000 like barrier. Am I able to switch off? I mean, yeah, from my team I will, but I've still been making videos. Hit that subscribe button if you're new around here as well. Yeah, please do hit that like button. Thank you very much for joining me. I've got videos starting from tomorrow all over the international break, so I'll have you covered. And obviously next week we'll be back into the regular content ahead of Game Week 8, which is going to be interesting. There's a lot of people going to lock in a lot of wildcards. So yeah, hopefully we've covered a lot of stuff. I'll cover loads more during the week. I will... talking about selling Antonio is blasphemy on this channel. I know, but I've got to do it. I've got to trick. The thing is with Antonio, we usually don't have to talk about transferring him out because he usually gets injured. It hasn't happened this time. Anyway, give it a like, hit that subscribe button. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for sticking with me, and I'll see you soon.